September 7th, 2020, on Lake Superior in Michigan. Tom Richardson had 25 years of fishing guide experience, but the underwater UFO emergence and subsequent interactive communication he witnessed that morning was never covered in any professional training. Welcome to Shelley's Mystery Files. Today I'm going to share with you a story about an extraordinary underwater UFO encounter on Lake Superior. Let's begin. Tom, could you first introduce yourself and tell us about your fishing guide background on Lake Superior?
Hello, Shelley. I'm Tom Richardson, 52 years old, and I live in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. I've been working as a professional fishing guide on Lake Superior for 25 years, mainly providing charter fishing services, deep water fishing expeditions, and seasonal tourism support. I have extensive knowledge about Lake Superior's water conditions, weather patterns, and fish behavior.
What kind of fishing environment do Lake Superior's characteristics create, and how are your normal fishing operations conducted?
Lake Superior is the world's largest freshwater lake, with a maximum depth of 1,332 feet, extremely clear water, and cold temperatures year-round. Professional fishing requires specialized equipment, detailed weather monitoring, and GPS navigation systems. We normally target lake trout, salmon, and steelhead using downriggers and deep water trolling techniques.
How was your fishing expedition planning on September 7th, 2020, and what were the initial conditions?
I planned a solo fishing trip departing from Marquette Harbor at 5:30 a.m., targeting deep water approximately 15 miles offshore. The weather forecast was excellent. Clear skies, light winds, calm water conditions. My boat was fully equipped, a 28-foot Tiara with twin engines, fish finder, GPS, radio equipment, and safety gear.
Was the solo trip unusual in your normal operations? Was there a special purpose?
I take occasional solo trips for equipment testing, exploring new fishing spots, and personal relaxation. This trip was intended for scouting new deep water locations, testing upgraded fish finder technology, and preparing for the upcoming charter season.
How did the initial fishing activities proceed after departure? Were they normal operations?
Normal departure, smooth water conditions, excellent visibility. I reached the target area at approximately 6:45. Water depth was 800 feet, ideal fishing conditions. I started setting up downrigger equipment, checking fish finder readings, and preparing for the first trolling pass.
Did you detect any initial unusual activity in the fish finder readings? How was the technical equipment performance?
The fish finder was showing normal bottom structure initially, clear readings, proper depth measurements, but around 7:15 I started seeing an unusual large return signal in deep water, much larger than any fish signature. Initially I thought it was equipment malfunction or debris.
What were the characteristics of this large return signal, and how was it different from normal fish signatures?
The signal was approximately 200 feet long, triangular in shape, stationary on the lake bottom, much larger and more geometric than any natural lake bottom feature or fish school. Solid return, very distinct edges, not a typical organic shape pattern.
What steps did you take to eliminate the possibility of equipment malfunction?
I checked all connections, rebooted the fish finder system, changed frequencies, moved the boat to different positions for verification. The signal remained consistent, same size, same location, same geometric characteristics. Definitely not an equipment problem.
How did your investigation approach change at this point? Did curiosity increase?
Professional curiosity was activated. In 25 years of experience, I'd never seen anything similar. I decided to investigate further, marked GPS coordinates, and began systematic scanning of the area. The signal remained stationary, perfectly defined geometric shape.
When did the engine problems begin, and what were the initial symptoms?
At approximately 8 a.m., while investigating the signal, both engines suddenly lost power simultaneously. RPM dropped to idle. No response to throttle. Battery systems were flickering, radio had static, GPS navigation was intermittent. Very unusual simultaneous failure.
Was this simultaneous engine failure familiar from your marine experience, emergency procedures?
I'd never experienced simultaneous twin engine failure. The engines were regularly maintained, fuel systems checked, electrical systems operational. I implemented emergency procedures, checked fuel flow, electrical connections, safety equipment. No obvious mechanical cause.
What were the electrical system's interference patterns? Which specific equipment was affected?
Fish finder was flickering. GPS was losing signal. Radio communication had poor quality. Battery voltage readings were unstable. Navigation lights were dimming. The pattern suggested electromagnetic interference rather than mechanical failure.
Did the timing of this electromagnetic interference show correlation with the underwater signal?
Perfect timing correlation. The signal appeared on the fish finder, then equipment problems began. As interference increased, the underwater signal seemed to be moving, ascending from the lake bottom toward the surface.
Can you describe the ascending signal movement? Was there visual confirmation?
The fish finder showed the signal rising steadily from 800-foot depth toward the surface. Movement was very controlled, steady ascent rate, maintaining triangular shape. At approximately 100 feet depth, I started seeing water disturbance above the signal location.
What were the characteristics of the water disturbance, and what visual changes occurred on the lake surface?
Large circular area of water disturbance approximately 200 feet in diameter. Water seemed pushed upward from below, creating a dome-like surface bulge. No waves, no foam, just controlled water displacement.
How was this controlled water displacement different from normal underwater phenomena?
Unlike any natural lake phenomena, no wind, no underwater currents, no geological activity known in the area. Water displacement was too large, too controlled, too perfectly circular for a natural cause.
When did the object's surface breach occur, and what was the initial visual contact like?
At approximately 8:30, a massive triangular object broke the lake's surface within the controlled water disturbance area. Initially, just the tip was visible. Then it slowly emerged completely. Absolutely silent, no sound, no water displacement noise.
What was the detailed appearance of the triangular object? Could you estimate its size?
Massive triangular craft, estimated 200 feet per side. Dark metallic surface, very smooth. No visible seams, panels, or surface details. 3 lights at each corner, white, very bright, pulsing slowly. Completely silent operation.
How did the surface emergence process continue? What was the object's behavior post-emergence?
Complete emergence took approximately 5 minutes. Very controlled, very deliberate. The object rose approximately 20 feet above the lake's surface, hovering motionless. The water beneath was completely calm. No dripping, no disturbance.
How did this hovering behavior feel? How did your fear level change?
Initial shock transitioned to intense curiosity mixed with fear. In 25 years on the lake, I'd never witnessed anything similar. Professional training included emergency procedures, but no protocol for extraterrestrial contact.
Did you consider attempting communication or interaction, contact protocols?
No established contact protocols, completely unprecedented situation. I decided to maintain distance, observe behavior, document the experience mentally. Too shocked for immediate action, focus on witness responsibility.
When did telepathic communication begin, and what was the initial experience like?
At approximately 8:45, I started receiving clear thoughts that weren't my own. Not hearing voices, but understanding concepts, ideas appearing directly in my mind. Very clear, very peaceful, no threatening tone.
What was the content of the telepathic communication? What were the initial message specifics?
Communication about peaceful intentions, curiosity about human lake activities, particular interest in fishing practices, questions about fish population changes, water quality observations, long-term environmental changes.
Was this environmental focus surprising? What were the specific areas of interest?
Very specific questions about fish species population changes over a 25-year period. Water temperature variations, pollution observations, industrial activity effects. The knowledge level was very sophisticated, scientific approach.
What information did you share about Lake Superior environmental changes?
I communicated observations about declining native species, temperature increases, seasonal pattern changes, pollution from shipping activity. I provided a fishing guide perspective on long-term environmental trends.
What was the being's response to your environmental information? Did they demonstrate scientific interest?
Very interested in detailed observations, asked follow-up questions about specific timeline, pollution sources, fish behavior changes, scientific methodology in questioning, systematic data collection approach.
Was there information about lake bottom activities in the communication? Underwater operations?
They indicated ongoing monitoring of the underwater environment, studying ecosystem changes, observing human impact on freshwater systems. Part of a long-term environmental research program.
Did they give details about the scope of this long-term research program? Were other lakes included?
They suggested monitoring multiple large freshwater systems globally, with particular focus on the Great Lakes region due to size, depth, and ecosystem complexity. Systematic environmental impact assessment.
Were the human fishing impact assessment questions specific? Commercial versus recreational?
Detailed questions distinguishing commercial fishing, recreational fishing, and guide services impact. They were interested in sustainable practices, fish population management, and regulation effectiveness.
How did you interpret this sustainability focus? Was there a conservation message?
Clear concern about freshwater ecosystem health, acceleration of human impact, need for better environmental stewardship, not judgmental but educational, informative approach to conservation.
What was the duration of the communication, and what was the range of topics?
Total communication was approximately 45 minutes. Topics included environmental observation, fishing practices, water quality, human population impact, and climate change effects on lake systems.
Did they ask technical questions about fishing equipment or boat technology?
Some curiosity about fish finder technology, navigation systems, and fishing technique efficiency. But the primary focus was environmental impact rather than human technology.
Were there personal questions about your fishing career or experiences?
They asked about career satisfaction, connection to the lake environment, observations about tourism impact, and the relationship between the fishing community and environmental protection.
How did the communication conclusion occur? Was departure preparation indicated?
They communicated research completion for this session and expressed appreciation for information sharing. They indicated possible future contact if continued environmental monitoring was needed.
How did you witness the departure process? What was the object's behavior during exit?
The object slowly descended back toward the lake surface, water creating a controlled depression for re-entry. It submerged completely, no splash, no disturbance. Perfect reversal of the emergence process.
Could you track it with the fish finder after submersion? Signal monitoring?
The fish finder showed the signal descending to the lake bottom, resuming its original position. The signal remained visible briefly, then disappeared completely. Electronic systems gradually restored normal function.
Was the timing of electronic systems recovery significant? The equipment restoration process?
Perfect correlation between object departure and equipment restoration. Engines restarted immediately. Navigation systems were clear. Radio communication was restored. No residual technical problems.
How did the return trip to harbor proceed? What was your mental state during return?
Return trip was completely normal. Engines running perfectly. All systems operational. Mental state was a combination of excitement, confusion, and concern about credibility. Processing an extraordinary experience.
What were your immediate actions upon harbor arrival? Documentation attempts?
I immediately documented GPS coordinates, timestamps, and detailed notes about the experience. I checked weather data and other boat activity reports, looking for corroborating evidence.
Were there similar reports from other mariners that day? Coast Guard contact?
No other reports that day, but research revealed occasional similar sightings over the years. I decided against immediate Coast Guard contact due to credibility concerns.
How did you handle disclosure to family and close associates? What were their reactions?
I carefully disclosed to my wife first, then trusted fishing community colleagues. Mixed reactions, some interested, others skeptical. The fishing community is generally more open to unusual lake phenomena.
Were there professional reputation concerns? Business impact considerations?
Major concern about charter business credibility. A fishing guide's reputation depends on trustworthiness and practical knowledge. Unusual claims could impact client confidence.
How did this experience change your fishing practices, environmental awareness?
Significantly increased environmental awareness, more careful observation of ecosystem changes, better documentation of unusual phenomena, enhanced appreciation for lake ecosystem complexity.
Have you observed additional unusual activity on subsequent fishing trips?
Occasional electronic interference, unusual fish finder readings, unexplained equipment behavior. Nothing as dramatic as the original encounter, but increased awareness of anomalous activity.
Have you heard of similar experiences from other professional guides on Lake Superior?
Gradual disclosure revealed several colleagues had unusual experiences over the years. The pattern suggests ongoing activity, but most guides are reluctant to discuss it publicly.
How did this pattern recognition affect your understanding of the phenomenon?
Realization that unusual activity is more common than reported, professional mariners are reluctant to damage credibility. Lake Superior may be a regular monitoring location.
From an environmental monitoring perspective, have you observed lake changes in recent years?
Accelerated environmental change, temperature increase, species migration patterns, water quality variations, increased awareness due to the being's environmental focus.
How do you assess the possibility of future contact? Continued monitoring expectations?
I feel ongoing monitoring is likely, but future direct contact is uncertain. I'm prepared for a potential repeat encounter with better understanding of peaceful research intentions.
How has your environmental stewardship role evolved post-experience? Conservation efforts?
Much more active in conservation efforts, environmental education for clients, better documentation of ecosystem changes. The beings concerned motivated enhanced environmental responsibility.
Finally, what is your advice to mariners who experience similar encounters on Lake Superior?
Document everything. Maintain professional objectivity. Don't let fear prevent truthful reporting. These experiences may be important for understanding environmental monitoring of freshwater systems.
Tom, Thank you for sharing this incredible Lake Superior underwater UFO encounter with us. The professional mariner perspective is very valuable.
Thank you, Shelley. I hope my account encourages other mariners to share their experiences. The environmental monitoring aspect suggests these beings are concerned about freshwater ecosystem health.
Tom Richardson's experience on Lake Superior shows that unknown intelligence is systematically monitoring Earth's freshwater systems and collecting data about environmental changes from professional mariners. The detailed account from a professional with 25 years of fishing guide experience reveals the deep connection between this phenomena and environmental research and freshwater ecosystem health. If you've had similar experiences on the Great Lakes or other large freshwater bodies, please share with us in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to Shelley's Mystery Files channel, and see you in our next underwater mystery.